Welcome to another episode of DOCasts. In this episode, we're going to be covering the WGET command. It's a non-interactive network downloader, which you can put in a wealth of commands here for WGET to do all the hard work for you. And to get to see all this manual information, what you do is you just type in man and you type in WGET, and that should give you all the manual information here, which you can go ahead and you can sort through on your spare time. But what I'll do is I'll just show you what I use WGET for and what you can use it for and the power behind the WGET command. Many times I find myself needing to download maybe a zip file from the internet somewhere for a framework such as WordPress. So what we can do here is we can go to wordpress.org. We can click on download the latest version of WordPress. This should bring us to a download page where we can go ahead and we can get the zip file for it. So if I go ahead and just copy the link here and I move back into terminal, what we can do is use the WGET command to go ahead and have that download directly to my folder, the current directory that I'm in. Now keep in mind, if you're not in the directory that you would like to install WordPress, you may need to move into that directory before getting this installed. This is just like anything else, but right now we're just going to go ahead and show you the capabilities of WGET. So what we'll do is we'll type in WGET, and then I'll just paste in the WordPress download URL, and you'll notice that it is a zip file. So I'll go ahead and I'll teach you how to extract a zip file as well in this episode. So it went ahead and downloaded that very quickly. Now if we check what is in our folder right now, we'll see that we have the latest .zip file, and that is our WordPress installation. So if I just clear this up and I go ahead and I'll just list that by itself. If I want to unzip this zip file or extract this zip file, I'll need to go ahead and I'll need to get something called unzip. So I'll go app get install unzip. That'll go ahead and it'll get that extractor for us and it'll get it installed. Now what I can do is use man unzip to take a look at the man files for our extraction application here. And what we want to do is just unzip that latest .zip file. So if I just go unzip, I'll type in L, then tab. That should autofill the rest of that. And I'll go ahead and I'll click on enter. This will unzip it all for me. And then I can just take a look at what's in the directory now. I should have a WordPress directory. So we do, and that's fantastic. All right, what I'll do is I'll just cd into the WordPress directory, and then I can go ahead and get started with installing WordPress on my web server. So that's pretty cool. WGET does all that work for us, and then we just go ahead and unzip it on our server or a droplet, and that allows us to go ahead and just keep working. So that's going to be a great addition to your professional workflow, having that WGET command. Now WGET can also do a variety of other tasks. So let me go ahead and move into my virtual box for Ubuntu, and let's take a look at what WGET can do on Ubuntu. So if you would like to, let's say, download a website, you could probably download the internet if you would like to, but that would just take a ton of your server resources or your computer resources. But just to give you an idea of what WGET can do is it can download a complete website. So let's say maybe that you wanted to have a website that you wanted to read offline, but you didn't want to manually go to every single page and download every single page or save that to your computer. Just use the WGET command and it'll take care of all of that for you. So what we can do is on one side, I'll open up the manual pages so you can take a look at the WGET options here. And this will allow us to go ahead and kind of scroll through this in the meantime while we're using the WGET command on the right hand side. On this right hand side, we'll go ahead and we'll begin using the WGET command. And what we'll do is we'll pass some instructions for WGET right after this dash. So we have R for recursive, then K so that it will get all the relative links, and we can go ahead and we can search through this manual documentation here if we wish to, or I can use this right here, and this just basically is a browser version of the document files that I was able to pull up on my local machine here. So if we take a look at R, we'll see that R is for recursive, or you could just type that out as well. But R is to turn on recursive retrieving. Keep in mind it has a maximum depth of 5. So it'll continue going through the website 5 deep or 5 folders deep so that it can retrieve the information that it's looking for that might be relative to that site. So if I go ahead and I just have R, then K. I'll go ahead and I'll pull up K here, and that is convert links. So after the download is complete, the convert links will make them suitable for local viewing. So you want to have both of those, the recursive so it gets everything, and then K so that it goes ahead and gets the converted links going, and that way you don't have to go into every single file and make sure that they're relative. Next, what we'll do, we'll also add in a capital K. What that does is it keeps a backup of the original files. So maybe you do want it changed to have relative links, but you don't want the original files to be effective. So we'll go ahead and add that K in. That way you have a copy of the original ones. Then we'll go ahead and add a P in there, which will allow us to download the files that make it necessary to interact with that page. So here it is within the documentation. So this is the page requisites that allows us to download all the files to properly display a given HTML page. And then last but not least, we can add in a L, and what the L will do is it'll allow us to specify a certain level we want the WGET command to go down. So by default, like I said, recursively, it's 5, right? So maybe you want it to just go down 3, or maybe up to 10. So that would just depend on what your preferences are and how deep you want WGET to go into a website. Next, what you would do is you would add in the URL that you would like WGET to go ahead and download the website. So we could probably use this on the WordPress downloads page. So if we go into WordPress and we just take the WordPress downloads page here, maybe we'll copy that and we will paste it into here. What we'll do is we'll just press enter. Oops, it appears I didn't put a valid number for that level. Let me go back up and go right here. I'll put 3 just to keep this kind of short. And then I'll just press enter, and that allows WGET to go through all of the WordPress website and start downloading the website itself. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use Control-C, and this will cancel out of the command that is currently running, and it'll allow me just to go browse through what has already been downloaded so far. Now what I'll do is I'll just click into this terminal window, press Control-C. That will stop what's going on, and this can be used for anything that you need to force quit for. And what we'll do is we'll clear this out. We'll take a look at what's in the folder. Latest.zip was the unzipping of WordPress. Now we have WordPress.org here. If we go into WordPress.org, we should see the files that were downloaded from WGET, and you'll notice all of these files here. We have the latest.zip and the latest tar file for WordPress itself, the application. And then WGET was so powerful that it started to go through downloading the files in the directories and everything that the public has access for on a website. So again, this might be something that is useful for you in the future if you need to have access to a website offline. Now keep in mind, because I didn't let it continue, WGET didn't create all those relative links and download all the necessary information to have this display just like it does on wordpress.org/download, but I think it got pretty close and it downloaded much of the information that we need to just read it offline. So if you take a look at some of the commands there within the manual, I think you'll find WGET is very useful. It can be used for not only HTTP access, but also FTP protocols. And all of that information is stored within the manual files of WGET. I hope you found this episode useful. If you have any feedback or suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. I look forward to hearing from you guys and hope you have a great rest of the day.